Welcome to Wright-Patt Credit Union's 2023 Annual Business Meeting. I'm Tim Mislansky, President and CEO of Wright-Patt Credit Union. Thank you to all of you for making the time to be with us tonight. This year, my team and I are speaking to you from the Huffman Prairie Interpretive Center, part of the Dayton Aviation Heritage National Historical Park, just a short distance from where your credit union began over 90 years ago. It feels only fitting that we do so. As many of you know, Wright-Patt Credit Union traces its beginning back to a group of government workers at Wright Field, today's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They chipped in a quarter a week to help out an ailing coworker and his struggling family. Wright-Patt Credit Union was built on the spirit of people helping people, and our fundamental mission has not changed in more than 90 years. We are here to help people through life. All Ohioans throughout Southwest and Central Ohio. To make this annual meeting official, our new Wright-Patt Credit Union Board Chair, Joseph Mucci, will start things off with the determination of a quorum.
Hello, I'm Joseph Mucci, Chairman of the Wright-Patt Credit Union Board of Directors. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you all for being here, and thank you for being members of Wright-Patt Credit Union. It's only through your trust, support, and patronage that we've been able to accomplish all that we have this year. To constitute a legal annual meeting, our Code of Regulations requires that 0.5% of our total voting membership must be present in person or by writing to make this a legal annual business meeting. We received more than 8,200 votes in our board election by mail and online, well over the required voting membership representation. The quorum membership has been met. I therefore declare this a legal meeting. Before we get underway, I'd like to take just a moment and introduce your Wright-Patt Credit Union Board of Directors and Executive Leadership Team. First, our Board of Directors. Nicholas Ensley, Director. Rachel Goodspeed, Director. Leah C. Hanseman, Director. Joseph L. Linsenmeyer, Director. Joseph H. Mucci, Chairman. Adam M. Sheets, Vice Chairman. Dr. Charles H. Showell, Jr., Secretary. Bonnie Smith, Treasurer. Dr. Robert J. Sweeney, Assistant Treasurer. And now, our Wright-Patt Credit Union President and Chiefs. Tim Mislansky, President and Chief Executive Officer. Eric Bugger, Chief Lending Officer. Molly Lampe, Chief Legal Officer and General Counsel. Jen Ogden, Chief Risk Officer. Amy Riley, Chief Administrative Officer. Roseanne Schutzman, Chief Operating Officer. Daniel Smith, Chief Financial Officer. And representing our auditing firm, Forvis LLP, Thomas Patrick is also on hand tonight. We are also providing our 2022 meeting minutes digitally. You can find links to these documents as well as this year's full report through our website at wpcu.coop/annual-meeting. Let the record show that the minutes of the 2022 annual business meeting, as included in the annual business meeting notice, were approved by ballot. And once again, thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Joe. Perhaps it's just this historic location, but I can't help but think back to the beginning of our credit union and those government workers coming together to help each other through tough times. 90 years ago, the country was in the midst of a depression and people were truly struggling. Born out of that, this group of coworkers came together, united in purpose to make a difference for one another. Times were hard then, and 2022 was a challenging year for many. That's why we're here, to help one another. To me, that's the true power of Wright-Patt Credit Union. People helping people. At the end of the day, it's not about the loans written, the accounts opened, or the credit cards issued. It's about the number of people we've been able to make a difference for. It's about making sure your credit union remains affordable as we continue to face the pressures of increased prices in rates due to inflation. With that said, because of the number of Ohioans we were able to help last year, your credit union remains financially healthy and growing. In 2022, Wright-Patt Credit Union grew to nearly 476,000 members strong, and our total assets increased to almost $7.8 billion. And during a rising rate environment, we've been able to be extremely competitive with our savings rates. More than 85,000 members took advantage of increased rates offered by our share products last year. We also helped over 82,000 members with their borrowing needs. Many took advantage of competitive lending products, allowing them to buy an affordable new home, finance reliable transportation, get a new business off the ground, pay for their college education, or simply weather one of life's unexpected surprises by using their credit union. Between saving better and borrowing smarter in tough times, that's almost 170,000 members who we've been able to help along their journey toward greater financial flexibility and freedom. Members like Jessica and her family, who you'll meet later in this meeting, they were able to realize the dream of home ownership for the very first time. Or Randy from Hamilton, Ohio. With a little guidance from his credit union, he was able to rebuild his credit, improve his financial health, and start his own business. At Wright-Patt Credit Union, our goal, today and every day, is to move members towards greater financial flexibility and freedom, so they can live the life they want to live. To bring this point home, I'd like to introduce you to a young couple who represent what financial flexibility and freedom is all about. Christopher has been a credit union member since his student days at Wright State. Catherine, his wife, has also been a longtime member. Here's their story.
I've never had that type of relationship with a credit union other than Wright-Patt Credit Union. They are always asking about how my family's doing, how I'm doing. So it really make it feel like a family. But then they've really grown me in terms of my financial literacy. Like I remember one day I went into the branch and they were teaching me about money market accounts and how it has a better interest rate. And then I had no one ever tell me that. And so from that knowledge, I've been able to purchase a money market account for my kid and for the next kids that we have and for our family. So just having that knowledge of building generational wealth because of what Wright-Patt taught me.
When we bought our first home, we chose Wright-Patt Credit Union as our lender to get our mortgage loan.
We love the city of Dayton. We wanted to stay in Dayton, so Wright-Patt made it so easy for us to find just the right interest rate and to buy at the right time. They also helped us when we wanted to remodel our house in terms of refinancing as well.
I guess I've been fortunate to have Wright-Patt be able to meet all my financial needs regardless of the stage of life I was in. From my first checking account to getting that first auto loan to getting the mortgage for our house. Because we know the representatives that we bank with at Wright-Patt, it make it easy to ask questions so you don't feel like you're asking a silly question. And then they make every process really easy.
So Wright-Patt helped me through life when I needed to purchase a car, and then when I needed to purchase my house, and then in having children and creating accounts for them. And then now my business as I've grown as a person. So Wright-Patt has really been there for me from the beginning, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Thank you, Christopher and Catherine, for sharing your story. And much happiness to you and your growing family as you continue your journey towards greater financial flexibility and freedom. Another way we helped members keep more of their hard-earned money in their pockets last year was through a reduction in our non-sufficient fund fee from $19 to just $9 every time an unfortunate overdraft occurs. We also eliminated our 60-cent foreign ATM transaction fee. We estimate this change saved our members as much as $4 million in fees in 2022. We understand times are challenging and want to do as much as possible to provide relief to members when they're carrying a low balance in their checking account. Before we go to Daniel and Eric for their reports, I want to mention one more way we're able to give back to our members in 2022, our special patronage dividend. As you know, banks pay out dividends to their stockholders, As a credit union, we pay out our excess earnings to you, our members, in the form of a special patronage dividend. And this year, we were able to pay out our largest patronage dividend ever, $11 million. Special patronage dividends are not guaranteed every year, and it is a significant indicator of the financial health and strength of your credit union. When the credit union has a good year, we pass some of those extra earnings back to you, our members. It's a little extra money in your pocket to put towards what matters most to you. Now here are Daniel and Eric with their reports.
Good evening, everyone. As we close our 90th year serving our members, I am pleased to report that our institution continues to be financially strong and well positioned for the future. Wright-Patt Credit Union finished 2022 with total assets of almost $7.8 billion, up 9% over last year, and an increase of 76% over the past 5 years. Coupled with the addition of more than 26,500 additional members in 2022 and almost 95,500 additional members since 2018, the credit union continues to be uniquely positioned to help even more people throughout Southwest and Central Ohio. In addition to increasing assets, members also increased deposits and shares held at the credit union to more than $6.4 billion, an increase of almost 7% in 2022. We reward shares and deposit accounts with competitive and generous dividend payments, which grew to $48 million in 2022, an increase of $21 million or 76% from the prior year. As a cooperative, your shares and deposits provide the primary fuel and ability for the credit union to expand lending across the membership. Thank you, members, for contributing your savings to help drive our mission to help people through life. Finally, I am also happy to report that Wright-Patt Credit Union remains well capitalized with a net worth of 10.83%, up from 10.69% in 2021, and well above the required 7% to be considered well capitalized under credit union regulatory standards. As a primary measure of its financial strength, being well capitalized means Wright-Patt Credit Union is financially sound and can continue to deliver great value and returns for our members now and into the future. Now, here's Chief Lending Officer Eric Bugger, who will offer his report on loan growth in 2022.
Thank you, Daniel. While 2022 was a difficult year for many, Wright-Patt Credit Union's strong financial disposition allowed us to continue to help our members with loans to improve their lives and for the things they need. In 2022, total loans increased to more than $5.6 billion, an increase of over $780 million. While home loan production tapered off last year due to an uncertain economy and mortgage market, we were still able to help more than 700 first-time homebuyers achieve home ownership. Overall, we've helped more than 6,500 members across Southwest and Central Ohio improve their lives in some way with a first or second mortgage. This includes refinancing to make loans more affordable or to consolidate debt so they can weather the rising costs we're all dealing with. During these challenging economic times, we remain committed to helping our members achieve their goals through competitive rates and innovative lending products. We are constantly evaluating our rates, products, and processes. We're doing what we can to better meet members' needs no matter what their financial situation. Before I go, I'd like to share the story of Jessica and her family from Miamisburg, one of those members that we were able to help with a new home loan last year.
I am a single mom of 5 children. Just living in an apartment, it was always too small, especially with 5 kids, no one having space. And I knew it was always going to be a goal in my near future Just because I never had a home, I wanted my kids to experience having a home. My realtor, she said, "Oh, do you bank with Wright-Patt?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I have somebody that's great. He's gonna help you. His name's Tom. Here's the phone number." Tom helped me through everything. He basically went over step by step what it was to buy a home. You know, he went over all the math and just helped me out. Tom told me about the Bright Start program. He said it was a great program, that he was almost 100% positive that I would be approved. And it was great because he called me, he was like, "Well, you were approved." I'm like, "Oh, great." It was $2,500 and we used it towards my closing cost. My oldest has her own room, like her own personal space. My 12-year-old, soon to be 13-year-old, she also has her own space. For her to just have her own quiet time, she loves it. And then I have my 10-year-old. She loves having her own space, of course. And then my 2 younger ones, they just love running up the stairs and, you know, coming in the kitchen, distracting mom while she's cooking dinner. Hey. Oh, and they love the backyard. Love the backyard. You know, I knew at the end of the day, every day that we worked through the process of the home, and talking to Tom and Lauren all the time, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we should just give up. They're like, no, you got it. We're gonna do this. I'm like, yes, I love you guys. Tom, I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you do. I love the fact that you work at Wright-Patt Credit Union. I could get a hold of you anytime I need. I appreciate everything, and thank you.
Thank you, Eric. What a great story. It's worth noting that Jessica and her family were also one of the first recipients of the WPCU Sunshine Community Fund's Bright Start Down Payment Assistance Program, which is the perfect segue into the community impact portion of our meeting.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Sarzi-Fors, Vice President of Marketing and Business Development and the Executive Director of the WPCU Sunshine Community Fund, the giving arm of Wright-Patt Credit Union. I'd like to share just some of the differences your credit union made last year in the communities and neighborhoods in which we live, play, work, and learn. One way we make an impact is through the dozens of workshops and presentations that we facilitate online and throughout our area schools, churches, senior centers, and other community organizations. It allows us to further the cause of financial learning and financial well-being across Southwest and Central Ohio. In 2022, almost 1,200 members increased their financial knowledge by attending financial workshops or events. Nearly 50,000 accessed online digital financial tools, online calculators, forms, and guidance on how to help them with their financial goals. Taking it a step further and putting education into action, through our partnership with GreenPath, members were able to pay down over $1.6 million in debt, putting more money into their pockets. Individual Wright-Patt Credit Union partner employees have spent more than 2,500 volunteer hours helping worthwhile nonprofit organizations in our community. We also give back through the WPCU Sunshine Community Fund. As a public charity, the Sunshine Community Fund works closely with nonprofits that help improve, strengthen, and safeguard the financial security of vulnerable populations within our community. In 2022, we provided $284,000 of support to 23 nonprofits, including Kranza Classrooms, Habitat for Humanity, Kettering Health Foundation, Feed the Kids Columbus, and YWCA Columbus. Since 2009, Wright-Patt Credit Union has raised over $2.3 million in support of the organizations, projects, and programs that align with our commitment to help people of all ages and backgrounds improve their financial outlook and start down the path to financial flexibility and freedom. Last year, the Sunshine Community Fund also launched the Bright Start Down Payment Assistance Program, offering down payment support through a matching grant up to $2,500. It helped first-time homebuyers like Jessica and her family achieve the dream of home ownership. During 2022, we awarded 21 matching grants through Bright Start. Money Magnifier is another Sunshine Community Fund signature program developed in 2022 and is poised to make a big difference for our communities, putting much-needed tools and resources in the hands of educators. Money Magnifier offers an engaging age-based curriculum for all students K through 12, all developed following the Ohio Department of Education's guidelines and using Wright-Patt Credit Union's expertise in internal resources. It was piloted at select schools and libraries during the second half of 2022 and is scheduled to roll out more broadly fall of 23 when it is expected to reach more than 4,000 students.
Thank you, Tracy. It's wonderful to hear about the difference we're making in our communities. Do you know the common denominator in all of this? The differences that we are able to make for our members and within our community? It's our people. Amy Riley, our Chief Administrative Officer, is going to talk a little bit about our partner employees who go the extra mile every single day in everything they do.
Thank you, Tim. Almost every day, we hear online or through social media or in our member centers across the region what a difference or amazing experience one of our partner employees has made for a member. They took the time, they cared, they did the extra work, and most importantly, they listened. I'm talking about partners like Stacy from our Graceland Member Center, who worked well past closing hours to help a member reestablish her account. When she found out the member had come all the way that afternoon from Cleveland by a Greyhound bus, she did everything in her power to help her get back home that night, going so far as to offer to drive her home. The member would not have it, but she was extremely grateful for Stacy's kindness and concern. Or partners like Heidi at our Cross Point Member Center, who was so moved by the situation of a member in extreme financial difficulty that she took it upon herself to research and provide the member with materials about area food banks and other free resources that could help get the member through a very difficult time. Because of Heidi's compassionate work, we are now developing a resource guide that includes local food banks and other resources that can be shared with members most in need. Those are just a few. We hear stories like these every day about the ways, big and small, our partners are making a difference. I want to close by reading an email we recently received from one of our members who was dealing with the recent loss of her husband. On January 27th, I visited the Cornerstone branch of Wright-Patt Credit Union. I attempted to have a check issued. After a short delay, I was informed the credit union had been notified of my husband's death, and the account would need to be switched to an individual account. I affirmed, and the representative went to consult a supervisor. During her absence, I teared up at the thought of removing my husband from another aspect of our life. Hearing frustration in my voice, a young man came around the corner and assured me, "Don't worry, I will walk you through this." His name was Brian. He walked me through sending the death certificate to all the correct places. He stood beside me and helped me through all the questions I had to answer to change the account. He made sure I had the check I needed and gave me a much-needed hug before I left. Brian was exactly what I needed at that time and place. He went far beyond anything I expected in that situation and was a wonderful, compassionate face for the credit union. Thank you, Brian, for being that compassionate face of Wright-Patt Credit Union and truly living our mission of helping people through life. And thank you to all of our partner employees who go that extra mile for our members each and every day. Before I go, board member Bonnie Smith has another member story that she would like to share. Another great example of our partners making a difference.
Hello, everyone. It's always exciting to me when I hear about a young person who really wants to understand what he or she can do to improve their financial situation. Sienna from our Inglewood Member Center is one such example. We were able to help her really understand the importance of credit, its good management, and so much more. She's taken that guidance to heart and has become a real cheerleader for financial literacy and Wright-Patt Credit Union. Here's Sienna's story.
My first interaction was getting a credit card. I was behind on a bill and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna pay it. A friend was like, oh, if you go to Wright-Patt, they'll give you a credit card. It helped me out tremendously that day. It became very useful. It was something I could use for backup. And it was just such an excitement to know that long as I stayed in good standing, that I was able to get other things in life that I wished for or wanted. Wright-Patt, they have given me a lot of guidance. They've had a lot of helpful members. They were willing to listen to me and explain to me more in detail what I didn't know.
In schools, they don't really teach financial wellness. They don't really teach you much about credit scores. So when I get a member in my office, I usually coach them in my way of saying, look into credit products, but make sure you know exactly what you're getting into and why it's important to stick with certain credit products for life. Because the longer you have a credit line, the better your credit score will be, and you have the credit union that's going to be there to guide you.
I would recommend Wright-Patt even if you are not financially ready, because they also give you chances. They also work with you. As long as you communicate with them and inform them, they're willing to work with you and try to help you out the best they can.
Thank you, Bonnie. And thank you, Sienna and Cheyenne. As Amy stated earlier, our people truly make the difference. Without their expertise and deep passion for helping others, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. I'm proud of the way they continue to go above and beyond for our members. I'm also grateful for such an active, engaged membership, like Sienna, that continues to put their confidence in us. We will do our best to continue to earn it. Before we conclude this evening's business and move on to the results of our board election, I'd like to look forward a little into 2023. First, I'm excited to announce our two newest member centers, the Canal Winchester Member Center, which opened last month, and the Grove City Member Center, which we will open in May. Plans are also underway for a new member center in Vandalia, which should open later this year. The opening of these new member centers will allow us to better serve our growing membership throughout Southwest and Central Ohio. I'm also excited to introduce CoverPoint Insurance Solutions as our newest credit union service organization, or CUSO. We decided to start an insurance CUSO to allow us to work closely with our members as part of the planning pillar in their financial flexibility and freedom journey, ultimately providing them increased peace of mind. Members using mobile banking can look forward to additional enhancements to our highly rated app that will offer them more functionality and convenience than ever before. And plans are also underway to update our deposit products to provide members with more ways to save and get more back from their hard-earned money. Finally, in an effort to better understand the specific needs of our members, we're excited to apply the learnings from considerable financial well-being efforts we began in 2022. Our wide-ranging member research and development work in partnership with Gallup will help us better capture the voice of you, our members, to gain a deeper understanding of what you are going through and learn how we can better help you throughout your financial journey, no matter what your financial situation or what your stage in life. The insight and intelligence from these initiatives will help us better develop the specific programs, products, and financial learning initiatives to help members precisely how, where, and when they need it most. I'm excited about this work and how it will enable us to help more members in more ways across the communities we serve. Our goal today and every day is to help our members gain the financial flexibility and freedom they need to live the life they want to live. As CEO of the credit union, my main job is to push us towards our vision of being the best organization our members have ever dealt with and the best place our partners have ever worked. And as we strive towards that, we are going to measure our success based on the impact we make on people. I'm proud of the impact we made in 2022 and look forward to an even bigger impact in the future. Thank you again for being here tonight and the trust you've placed in your credit union. Before we close our meeting with the 2023 Board of Director election results, Rachel Goodspeed, one of our newest credit union board members, has one more member story she would like to share. Rachel?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rachel Goodspeed. As a small business owner myself, our next member's story really struck a chord with me. Randy had worked for someone else for years, and additionally had been working through some financial challenges of his own. He knew it was time for a change, and he reached out to Wright-Patt Credit Union partner Matt Kessler at our Green Hills Member Center for help. It changed the trajectory of his and his family's life.
When I first came to Wright-Patt, it wasn't the picture perfect. I was working for somebody else, really poor credit score, just we'll just say life happened and things got out of control. Matt was my first contact with Wright-Patt, and it's been great. They've taken really good care of me. We've definitely turned things around. When I decided to start my business, my first call was to Matt, just to let him know, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is what I'm gonna need. You can definitely feel like he's got my back. You know, he's thinking of things to help me grow. He knows where I want to be. And so far, he saw what I put into this company. And I think, you know, he seems like the type that would do that for everybody. Having that support is priceless.
The beauty of the relationship was really Randy's honesty of where he was at, what he needed help with. And that transparency is a big deal from the beginning. And we can get a better portrait of the situation to provide guidance and set them on the right path. There's a significant difference with Wright-Patt Credit Union in our focus to serve the member and to really serve them through their life and help them through their life to be more successful.
I never knew there was a difference, and I'm a lot older and, you know, a little bit wiser than I used to be. I wish I would have found Wright-Patt when I was in my 20s, because I think I'd be in a whole different path right now. And ever since then, I mean, I couldn't imagine banking with anywhere else.
Thank you, Rachel, and Randy and Matt for sharing that story. As we bring the annual business meeting to a close, we are pleased to announce that the following individuals were elected by the membership by mail and electronic ballots to serve 3-year terms on the Board of Directors. Rachel Goodspeed, Bonnie Smith, Robert J. Sweeney. Congratulations to them. I'm confident that they will continue to serve with passion and commitment to our credit union's mission of helping our members through life. With the official business of the annual business meeting concluded, this meeting is adjourned. Remember, however, that Tim will be on hand live to answer your questions immediately upon conclusion of this video. Much thanks to everyone involved in making our annual election and annual business meeting a success. We truly appreciate the time and effort that goes into it. And please stay on the meeting link with Tim live for a brief question and answer session.